On the eve of the Hangtown opener, you might have been given pause to wonder about the state of American motocross. The defending 450 champ Ken Roczen was out due to injury, and an all-time great Ryan Dungey was heading off into retirement. Just how exciting was the 2017 outdoors going to be? 1 month later, we have our answer.
Look at Baggett! Oh, what an amazing move!
The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship has started with a run of parity rarely seen in racing. 6 motos in, we have seen 5 different winners ride 4 different brands to victory.
Justin Bogle wins his first ever. Marvin Musquin, Eli Tomac, Blake Baggett his first ever.
As the championship heads into Father's Day weekend at one of its most historic tracks, motocross in America is alive and well.
And here we are, round 4 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. It's the Red Bull High Point National. After a weekend off, this field is primed in what has been one of the most competitive early seasons we've ever seen in this series. Jason Wygant alongside multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston and Georgia Lindsay to call today's racing. How good has it been? We can show it to you with numbers and names. We have run 6 motos in each class, 450s and 250s. And of those 6 motos, there have been 5 different winners in each class. That's 10 total moto winners overall. That is an unbelievable start in both classes. Championship completely up for grabs in both divisions. So, with the weekend off, question is, as we return to the east part of the championship, who will respond today at High Point to this challenge? And we have a little preview, Grant, from qualifying earlier today.
Yeah, well, Jason Anderson looked good from the first lap of practice. He looked dialed in. He was your fastest in the 450 class. I don't think that should be a surprise. He's always ran well. He was strong here last year. I expect him to be fast.
Yeah, and he was. His time was significantly quicker, almost 2 seconds than anyone in the 450s.
And Savachi, last year's winner, also looking good this morning. We saw the track dry out quite a lot, especially for these guys in the 250 class. Time started dropping. But once the race comes around, this track's going to look a lot different. But 2 guys didn't surprise me, looking fast.
All right, so Anderson and Savachi establishing themselves. Here's your 411. Every weekend in motocross, we race 2 classes, 250cc engines, and then 450 cubic centimeters. Each class runs 2 motos, and we add up the scores from both of those motos in each class to determine 2 overall winners for the weekend. And again, this is round 4 of a 12-race championship. And let's bring Georgia Lindsay into the program. Georgia, what's happening down on the racetrack?
Yes, as you guys were saying, so many different winners, and just another face to throw in there is the Australian number 111 of Dean Ferris. He is winning the Australian Championship. He flew in on Tuesday to High Point, is flying out Sunday, just coming in for this one-off race. He qualified 3rd. This is definitely going to be a wild card we're going to be looking out for amongst all the other winners.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, we are talking about our 450 class because we're racing 450s first this weekend. We had the 250s race first at the previous 3 rounds. So Ferris could be a spoiler. Who knows? Maybe he becomes a moto winner this year. Anything can happen. Now Tomac's going to square it. A little bit of contact. Eli Tomac takes over Hangtown.
You look behind. Oh, that's where the drama happened.
Marvin Musquin wins his first career 450 motocross moto. Justin Bogle wins his first ever.
Look at Baggett. Oh, what an amazing move.
They win here in Colorado. Blake Baggett his first ever. We are back. A huge crowd has gathered here on the Mason-Dixon line at High Point. Why? Because not only is this traditionally a great race, but a lot of drama and intrigue, especially in the 450 class this year, including Blake Baggett's big win last time out in Colorado, his first ever in the 450 class. And no doubt about it, it has given him a lot of confidence. We had a chance to talk to him earlier this weekend.
Definitely the climb in the 450 class to get to the top is tough. It makes it sweeter because it's taken me a while to get it figured out and to be able to accomplish what I was able to accomplish pretty quick in the lights class. It's taken me a lot longer in the 450 class.
They win here in Colorado. Blake Baggett is first ever.
I'm really excited, and I feel like I got a lot of things going for me. I feel like the momentum's there, and just the internal feeling of knowing that that it's in there and I can do it, and when I need to be able to come out with the raw speed, that I got what it takes. So now knowing that it's there, I don't know if it makes it easier or just makes me more anxious to get out there and race again and try to pull it off again.
All afternoon, he's going for it again. Oh, around the outside. Look at Baggett. Oh, what an amazing move.
I feel that I should be up front, and I have the speed, I have the endurance, I have the talent to do it. It's just placing myself in the right positions to be able to accomplish those goals.
And as our first moto is set to begin in about 4 minutes, Grant, what do you need to do to succeed at High Point? So KTM keys to the moto.
Yeah, you keys to the moto. Well, this week, as we know, a new track, so new layout. You got to be able to figure out where the lines are going to develop, also possibly where you can make passes. So figure out the new layout, tame the track. The reason I say that, we saw a lot of top riders going down in practice. This track was very treacherous and deceiving. It looked like there was traction. So tame the track, don't let it tame you. And of course, make yourself a lot easier when you're out front if you get a good start. But if you don't get the whole shot, you got to come around that first turn, preferably in the top 5, because these guys will single file very quickly on this track.
Well, you mentioned the layout's all new, so take us through the MX versus ATV track map.
Yeah, the start, not such a radical uphill into a complete 180, as in the past was a big sweep up the hill. Now you come down, hopefully get that motorsport.com whole shot, right, left. This part of the track is the same, past the fans, over the tunnel jump, through these rollers, get a good rhythm. Then once again, all completely revised down here in the middle part. A lot of these switchbacks, so we're seeing a lot of braking bumps and ruts, and they're only going to get worse as the day goes on. This used to be that big double in the middle, that's now a roller. Now you come back to the back part of the track over this big triple step up, fly racing jump there, big crowd on hand today. And a sweeper down in the gully, you almost case that jump, meaning come up a little bit short so you scrub some speed. Back down the hill, we saw a lot of crashes here, deep ruts through that G out. Another triple into the back part of the track, left-hander, down the hill, through the gears, third, fourth, jump back up the hill. Now this is where it changes again. You used to turn 90 degrees and then go down Bradshaw Boulevard. Now you turn left again, and then this hill is very steep. They've actually dug into it. Heavy braking bumps, very treacherous there. Turn right. For the 250 riders, they're struggling to get over that triple step up. Then you make a left. This is the new finish line jump where you drop off. One more right-hander, and then you go past the new mechanics area, joining back onto the start straight, and that's a lap here at Mount Morris.
Yeah, the revamped Mount Morris. Let's show you on board. We're going to pick Christian Craig back in action this weekend. Honda HRC machine after breaking his hand just 2 weeks ago. He has the Garmin Verb camera, and we'll show you what it looks like with our Garmin course preview earlier today.
I tell you what, these guys make it look easy, but see what I was talking about when it was slick early in the day? It started creating a bit of a goat trail. That was the only part of the track that was drying up. So fortunately, there we go, nice little reverse view. This camera is pretty impressive. And you can see, there's the track map, the mile an hour. You can add all these different
yeah, there's about, I don't even know how many unbelievable different data and telemetry points that are built into this camera. We got to see the speed there going downhill. Congrats to our FMF Power Privateer Award winner, Brandon Scharrer, on the Yamaha 154. Solid ride inside the top 20 overall, our last race, and that's the goal for all the privateers. Top 20 pays championship points. If you get enough, you'll have a 2-digit number next year, which means you're nationally ranked if you get inside the top 100. So we are just about set to go racing in what has to be one of the most intriguing motos in the 450 class in a long time. Not since 1998 have we started the year with 5 different moto winners in the first 6 rounds. So when Nicole takes the Fly Racing 30-second card sideways, that means there's nothing separating us from this moto but one gate drop. And there's been so much talk. Baggett pretty bold with some of the words that he said after getting that win last time out. We know Eli Tomac, usually he likes to let his riding do the talking. Marvin Musquin is your series points leader. They're all going to settle it. It's time to stop talking. It's time to go racing.
Oh, a big jump there. There must be a malfunction with the gate.
We got a problem. We have got a problem. The gate has not dropped. Several riders hit it, but I don't think that was because the gate flinched.
Well, I think maybe the gate flinched, so the riders did, but it didn't drop.
It did not drop all the way. Okay. Wow, this is a strange scenario. Very rarely does it happen at this level at amateur races. Sometimes they'll have malfunctions all the time. And they're immediately going to work and looking at those gates. There's Ferris. I did look like a blue fender that hit that. Okay. All right, listen closely here, folks. We got some of the audio of this. You'll hear it click, but not fall. Listen.
Yeah.
Wow. So the click means they tried to activate it.
Yep. Sometimes dirt can get in there, like when they're doing grading or guys come by, and if it jams, it's hard to explain without a piece of paper and you can't see my hands, but it's basically one bar that goes across, and they all have these little tabs that come off that hold each gate individually. See, so one bar drops all the gates. Obviously, if you hit the gate, your gate won't fall because each gate is detached, but it's all on one bar, so they all fall at the same time. So what happens is that thing's got to rotate from almost an upright position to that, call it at least about 90 degrees. But if there's dirt, and it can get jammed for a number of reasons, but that's most likely what it is. And then you heard the click, but it wasn't able to fall because it was wedged.
Wow. So
but
that's
now
why
they got it.
Okay, they definitely got it working now. They're inside. This is what we call the doghouse in motocross parlance in more ways than one.
I was going to say, he probably feels like he's in the doghouse right now.
Right now, I think they're
Someone's going, you've got one job. No, it can happen to anyone.
Okay, I think that might have been a technical discussion, or were they just giving him a pat on the back saying, you can do this, you can do this. Okay, so we're going to get ready and once again start this first moto, which just gives us more chance to talk about how wild this has been, with Baggett throwing some bold sauce onto his comments after winning last week. Said that the goal is to break Eli Tomac. Know that Eli Tomac's not going to be happy about that. He wants to get back on top of this one. Marvin Musquin, the points leader, although Marvin struggled a bit in practice today. So let's see if he can recover. The track has been completely changed, not only from previous years, but they've groomed it quite a bit since practice. So whatever we saw earlier today, does that even mean much, or are we just starting from scratch?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty close to almost starting from ground zero again.
And they're testing that gate one more time. I feel like this is a Groundhog Day here. Cart is sideways. The riders have not brought the revs back up. We have more problems here. That gate had dropped while she had the cart up. As we try to sort this out. Baggett is the rider on the KTM next to the doghouse. Riders left, our right. And Tomac a little bit further out. It's actually Josh Grant next to him. Now we've got the camera on the doghouse itself. And they're just trying to figure out, we heard at least 4 times, I think, that gate drop during this break. And now you see some of the Kawasaki people running down with a fan on their riders, trying to keep the bikes cool. Nothing will build heat in the bike more than a start where they're just wide open on the throttle with the clutch pulled in. So,
well, also too, at 5 seconds, the clutch, they've got it to a point where it's wanting to engage and pull the bike forward. So you're really putting stress on the motor, and obviously with no airflow, those things will heat up and you can fry a clutch pretty quickly.
Okay, they brought the mechanics back to the line now for the team, so apparently it's going to be more work on this starting gate.
Well, maybe they're asking a mechanic who's got some engineering and start gate building.
Make this happen. Yeah, get this thing fixed. Well, that's funny. We did hear it drop several times. How much, Grant, does this affect the riders as far as mentally? They were obviously locked in. There's no point in probably any sport that is intense as that moments before the gates drop in these races, and they had to, nothing happened.
It's happened, obviously, to me a couple times in my career, and obviously everyone's in the same boat. But it kind of throws you off a little bit, because now it's like, what's wrong with the gate? When are they going to get this fixed? Like, I want to go racing. I'm sweating. It's hot. Let's do this. So it can throw you off your game plan of visualizing and all that kind of stuff. So now hit the reset button and go back to what you're thinking about.
Okay, once again, mechanics have been cleared off. Nicole has a 30-second card up.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, this time we're going to get it. And we're finally going to drop the gate officially for the 41st annual High Point National. Let's go racing in Pennsylvania. And it's a Kawasaki. He's going to lead the rush into the first turn. Bogle getting bumped around by Craig. But it is one of the green machines out front. The 33 of Josh Grant. Baggett, Tomac, Bogle, all right there. Some of the riders we talked about coming into this one. Nice move by Craig.
Craig, when everyone shuffled towards the inside, Craig just left the brakes, went to the outside, and that worked out fantastic. But great start for Josh Grant.
Grant, you never know with this guy what he's capable of. You give him a start like this, he can certainly run the pace. Dean Ferris up to 4th on the 111, the Australian National Championship points leader. Tomac able to slide through and make it a Cowie 1-2 as he gets past Craig.
Yeah, that was some good work in those opening corners from Tomac.
Oh, Tomac down, loses the front end, And we knew that this track would be tricky because of all the work they did between practice.
And also, when they do some of that grading, you can't tell if there's some clean fluff. You can't see something underneath that there's a hole or a rut or something.
And he's in a tough spot. That's an uphill. Doesn't quite look as steep on camera as it really is. Tomac's one of the strongest and tallest riders out here, and even he had a tough time uprighting that 450. Oh, man. Things going from bad to worse for Tomac here in this championship. Has had a couple of rough runs as of late, and now I'd have to assume he's about dead last.
That is exactly what you don't want to do on the opening lap. And sometimes with Eli, he's got great speed, but I almost feel like you got yourself in a second. Your teammates in front of you. Not saying that he was pushing too hard, but I think he got a little maybe excited and, you know, pushed in an area where he should. I saw
Kawasaki bike down.
Don't tell me.
We'll have to see if that's still Grant in the lead, or if that was another rider, as Tomac tries to pick his way up from essentially 40th place in this moto. Man, he has got to be frustrated with the way things have gone the last couple of weeks. Was okay, got 4th overall last week in Colorado, but he was running 3rd of the first moto before he crashed. Kind of similar to that.
I'm wondering if the right-hand side of the bars are maybe a little bit bent, because no, there's Grant.
Grant's still fine. He's out front. First rider past the all-new mechanics area, part of the revamp High Point. Craig taking 2nd place over again after the fall from Tomac, and Dean Ferris. Well, Georgia said he might be a wild card. Absolutely, he is right in the mix. The man who has won 5 out of 5 rounds in his native Australia has 1 weekend off, and this is the one. This is how he chooses his break from racing. He flies halfway across the world to race here. First ever pro national in the United States. He did race a few Supercrosses a few years back, riding with the Cycle Trader Rock River Yamaha team this weekend.
Well, you know, there's a lot of Australians right now tuned into the TV, jumping up and down, saying, "Make us proud, boy." And so far, he's done a fantastic job. Running 3rd in a 450 moto has got to be exciting. Maybe he expected it, but I don't think a lot of people would have. And we saw from practice, he was actually the first one to be in pole position in both sessions, just to get pipped towards the end. But hey, he still ended up 3rd fastest overall, so I don't think we should be that surprised.
Oh, Craig!
This track, I'm telling you, it's so deceiving, because there's areas like this where you see a little bit of dust, and then you come down these G-outs, and it's soft, rutted, sticky, and then some other parts of the track, it's very slippery.
Baggett now trying to go to work on Bogle in a battle of last race's moto winners. That is 4th and 5th. Anderson 6th, Webb 7th, Noren, Davalos, Tickle. That is your top 10. Muscan back in 14th right now, your series points leader. Rough day for him in practice. Not a great start for him in the moto. Baggett going to try to get a move on here because Anderson is starting to work his way into the picture. 4th, 5th, 6th right now.
Yeah, with Anderson, it doesn't surprise me at all. He looked really good in practice, and it's I don't think I've seen him look that good compared to everyone else. But how about Ferris? He's up to 2nd now, got around Craig.
I'll tell you what, we have a good setup. We talked so much about the 5 winners in the first 6 motos. Neither of these 3 riders out front have won one this year. So we have a scenario where we could be looking at a 6th moto winner, but Baggett has cleared Bogle and is now starting to close on this lead trio. Oh, little mistake there from Grant, but keeping that Kawasaki upright. So good job by the veteran out of California, the 30-something father of 2 of the monster Kawasaki. And here's Ferris. Ferris moving out a bit on Craig, keeping Grant in sight.
Yep, and then if you look at the background, you can see Baggett getting ready to make a pass, but can't say enough about Dean Ferris. The one thing we do have to question is, and he said it earlier, you know, he's come from Australia where they're in the dead of winter, and it's hot and humid out there. So I think we've got to see how his fitness handles later in this moto, and then of course coming back from Moto 2.
Yeah, Ferris actually told Georgia Lindsay during practice that he stopped about 3 minutes early just to save energy riding in this heat. And heat being applied to Craig by Baggett. Still a great job by Craig, considering he's just 2 weeks out of surgery to repair a boxer's break. That's a broken bone in the hand. And he was hoping to pick up where he left off. And when he crashed at Glen Helen, he was in 3rd place. So he's done exactly that. But for how long can he hold it? Because Baggett putting some pressure on.
Baggett definitely looks like he's got the pace, and it's only a matter of time. Plus, the one thing I like with Blake Baggett is he will go mix up his lines. He doesn't follow the main line, as we call it. He tends to experiment. He's not always like the guy that'll just go around the outside everywhere or hug the inside, but he's very creative. One turn, you'll see he'll rail all the way around the outside, then another corner, he'll hug the bales on the inside. It's almost wherever no one else is generally going, there goes Baggett.
And that's what he's doing right now, way around the outside of Craig.
Now watch the drive. Has he got it? Little, no.
Not quite there, so good job by Craig, holding him up. Oh, whoa, Craig, mistake coming in and out of the corner. Is that what Baggett needs to make the pass? Craig gonna try to make a run around the outside. It's over. Baggett has taken over third place.
Yeah, he just kept it tight there. A little mistake from Craig. And, you know, keeping in mind, he's got very limited seat time since that injury. And there comes the familiar 21 with the jersey hanging out, Jason Anderson. And look at this up front. Ferris has closed up on Josh Grant.
Wow,
and separated themselves a little bit. A couple seconds over third place.
Yeah, so Baggett, the gap is 3.5 seconds. So right now, it's a private duel up front. Baggett just slowly getting into the picture. Grant versus Ferris. I don't think these two have ever really squared off much before. Ferris did do a lot of racing in the World Championship Grand Prix circuit. And then he did have a Red Bull KTM deal to race the 250 class here in the United States. It was about 3 years ago. But he only raced a few Supercross races, got injured. And by the time he was ready to come back and race here, outdoors in the United States, he picked up a ride to go back to Europe and race for the factory Husqvarna team there. So he never actually raced a motocross race in the United States. Obviously showing now what he's capable of. Ferris trying to put the press on Grant. As for Grant, he's had his highs and lows at this track. Won his first ever pro overall in the 250 class right here at High Point years ago. But also in that section they just went through.
Yeah, remember when his bike hit the truck?
Yeah, it's crashed and the bike tumbled into the pickup truck that was parked on the side of the track. Dean Ferris going for the lead.
If Josh Grant was being passed by Yamaha, he's probably shocked that it's Dean Ferris and not Cooper Webb. But Ferris had a sniff there. He wants this, and he wants to win this moto. He's going to have to get going because don't look over your shoulder, boys. But
Ferris is
coming.
Dean Ferris has the lead. Josh Grant not going to take that lane down. He comes right back at him, down to the inside. They're both trying to figure out where is the best line on this revamped and re-groomed racetrack. And Grant is able to survive the challenge, at least for now.
Wow, this is fun to watch.
Yeah.
We're having a season of expect the unexpected around the outside.
Whoa, they come together. A mistake by Grant. Their lines collected, and here comes Baggett as well to make it a three-rider fight. And as Ferris finally got the lead locked down, yes, he is. Well, good day, mate. Welcome to the United States. You got the lead.
Who had him in their fantasy league? They're smiling right now.
Absolutely. Now, let's see if Ferris can try to get away as Baggett and Grant are about to do some battle. Baggett, outside line here, nothing working. And Grant able to hold him off. Tomac, by the way, is up to 23rd place at the moment. You've got to get top 20 to even score any points. So he's passed about half the field. As Grant goes to work on, as Baggett goes to work on Grant, Anderson has cleared Bogle. He's fourth, but they pulled away from him.
Yeah, these guys.
Actually, I have to imagine something happened to Anderson because Bogle has the spot back, and the gap's pretty big.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, look at this. Baggett has a sniff there. Well, you can see this track. The bike's just snaking all over the place, battling to get traction. Throttle control crucial on a track like this.
Baggett putting pressure on Grant. Ferris not getting too far away. Baggett around the outside, cuts back over the rut, and Grant able to hold him off.
Not from a lack of trying from Blake Baggett.
No.
He's using all of this new redesigned racetrack. But we did say before, because of all the rain, and look at this, he tries again. Grant leaves that door open once again.
A little mistake by Grant on the takeoff. Let's see if Grant can hold him. He's down to the inside here. And Baggett's able to squeeze him out. Oh, and then a little mistake by Baggett. Or is that just the track? It slowed them both down in that section.
Yeah, I think that right has a little hook in it, so they both had to slow down a little bit more than normal. So Baggett gets it done. Ferris still leading this one.
Well, I hate to say this for everyone else, but this charge by Baggett methodically finding the lines and moving forward here on his Rocky Mountain WPS KTM. That is the way Baggett did it quite a bit when he was dominating the 250 championship and winning a lot of races in that division, riding where they are not and waiting to find his spots during this moto. He's slowly but surely made to make his way past Bogle, now Grant, and now about to put some pressure on Dean Ferris, who is leading laps in his first ever motocross race in the United States.
See, Baggett had a little look over his shoulder. if he's going to see a green bike behind him, he wants it to be Grant. So, Georgia, what do you got for us?
I just spoke to Aidan Mescos, Dean Ferris's mechanic, who came from Australia with him specifically for this race. He said, you know what, we kind of expected this, but maybe not good right now. He said he's calm, collected. It is winter time in Australia right now, so it's not as hot as home, but during the summer, he is used to these temperatures. So, yeah, it's whether he can hold off Blake Baggett, because right now, Blake Baggett's best lap time is his second quicker than everyone else.
Oh, yeah, Baggett's all over him right now. I talked to Dean Ferris before practice today, and he said he did have a goal in mind. He did have an idea where he stood, but he didn't want to say it, which to me would mean he thought he was going to do pretty well, but didn't want to sound cocky. And he's proving it right now, but Baggett's putting the press on.
Wow, that line on the outside there from Baggett, that actually has a bit of a launch. He jumped into that that single that's typically a roller where you drop off down in that gully. But Baggett using every inch of this track. Like I said, wherever the guy in front of him goes, he takes different lines. And it's worked out more often than not. Can he get it done this time? He's tried this before, a little mistake from Ferris, and he does. And that's why the kids, that's why they say you never follow, because if he was following, he would have been stuck behind him, not got that done. So Baggett is your new leader.
Well, I don't think it's too early for me to say that El Chupacabra has struck here. He's been able to work his way forward in the #1 spot, now starting to pull away. Can Blake Baggett grab his second straight Moto win? ARCA comes to MAV TV next Saturday. It's one of the nation's premier stock car series and the training ground for many of today's up-and-coming drivers looking to follow in the footsteps of today's NASCAR stars. ARCA Racing next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern on MAV TV Motorsports Network. Watching Eli Tomac damage control here. After going down to the first lap, he's worked his way up to 16th place. That's the bad news. The good news for him is along the way he has caught and passed Marvin Musquin, your series leader. The rumor was that Musquin might have been nursing an injury coming into this race, and the fact that Musquin is in 17th right now and yielded the position to Tomac pretty easily would lead us to think that might be the case. Maybe he is not 100%. You don't normally see Musquin unable to get into the top 15. Hey, speaking of 15, in 15 minutes, you can save 15% or more on your insurance. Just call Geico. So here is Tomac trying to work his way forward and score some points. This is Tomac earlier here. He's in second. This is the very first lap of the race, and watch. Goes down and then had some problems trying to get the bike uprighted with traffic going by.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough spot to be at. And then, as you can see, lappers and traffic. A couple of guys get collected in front of him. And then this beautiful line right the outside keeps the drive. Double out of there. Puts him on the inside. Marvin not able to do much about that. So in 15 minutes, he's had a very adventurous time.
Absolutely. So salvage job here for Tomac to just try to score as many points as possible. Certainly going to hurt his chances of winning the race overall today. Oh, he's got to be so mad right now. The last couple races not going his way. Remember, had the brake problem at Glen Helen. He was super hot about that. And then crashed last week, crashed this week. But got to, as they say, win your titles on your bad days. And here he comes now trying to get Dakota Alex, who's actually Baggett's teammate. And that will be for 15th.
Yeah, every point counts. And especially at this point, when you think about it, the series points leader is behind Tomac. So, you know, it's even worse for Marvin. He's at 17th. So for Eli, this is you got basically 15 minutes to go and get as many points as you can. Like you always hear people say, you win your championships on the bad days. If you're good, you're going to win races. What happens on the days you don't win?
Dean Ferris continuing to turn heads today. He is second. Got some pressure still from Josh Grant, so a good fight for that spot. Ferris can put this thing on the podium. That would be pretty impressive. And they got company. Grant's with him, and Bogle's not too far back either. He would like to put that RCH Yoshimura Suzuki up there. Oh, Christian Craig in the pits. And remember, he was up front early in this moto, so disappointment for him. Got the mechanic, Oscar on the back, and they are headed to the mechanics area, or sorry, from the mechanics area to the pits. Hope he didn't re-injure that. As we're watching Ferris, is the heat starting to kick in now, because here comes Grant. Ferris got him, pulled away a little bit, and Grant has caught back up.
You can think it's probably That's the most logical thing. But also too, sometimes with these nationals, the way the tracks start evolving, maybe it hasn't come to him. I think with Ferris, he enjoyed the conditions when it was sloppier. And as it's drying out and getting rougher and choppier, you know, maybe the bike's not handling quite as good as he was hoping, or like it was earlier. Or maybe just Josh Grant found some better lines, you know, got a rhythm, because he's been seeing these guys in front of him. So he's had a chance to watch and observe and take some notes.
And Ferris, that's a lap rider that's approaching now with Grant behind him. Bogle fourth. Webb has climbed up to fifth. And Anderson trying to make a move on Tickle. That is a battle for 6th and 7th. Seeley 8th, Dean Wilson 9th, Fast Freddie Noren 10th. Then it's Pike Davalos, Ryan Sykes 13th. Nice job for the supposedly retired motocross racer who races Grand National Cross Country Series now. Tomac comes next, and then Alex. That's your top 15. Here's your motosport.com whole shot replay.
Watch how close Baggett comes to falling there. They all make contact. Grant almost slides out, and I think he just pips out Christian. Yep. Let's give us a better view. But from the front, it almost looked like they could have been 3 wide there.
All right, so Grant got that whole shot, and that has powered him right now. It's still in the top 3, although Ferris has shaken that pressure just for a moment. As we're nearing the 20-minute mark of this moto, Grant will have to reset himself. So Blake Baggett trying to make it 2 straight moto wins. Grant wants another podium, but can he do anything with the Aussie, Dean Ferris? Manufacturing education and job growth on camera. Titans of CNC. Monday night Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV. I'm going to guess that's Cooper's Rock. I lived here for a long time. I know the local sites. Actually had my wedding rehearsal there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it looks
okay.
pretty. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's about 20 minutes from High Point in West Virginia. Here is Josh Grant getting around some lap riders on the Monster Kawasaki. Can he make a late run at Dean Ferris? Or is he going to be content to just put it on the podium here in 3rd? He has a decent gap over Justin Bogle, who's now 7 seconds behind in 4th. Grant's teammate Eli Tomac up to 13th now after a first lap crash. We'll show you the gap here between Grant and Bogle. And these are lap riders. There is Bogle in the 19. So although it's not a moto win potentially for Bogle here, 4th is still better than he's been doing most of the year, and I think 4th was a career high in the 450s until last week, so still an improvement, although he might not hold 4th because Cooper Webb's coming from 5th.
Yeah, Webb's been putting some good laps together. Baggett still circulating faster than anyone, but Cooper Webb, besides Baggett, was the fastest car on track last time around.
All right, Georgia, what do you hear on the number 2?
I was speaking with the Monster Energy Yamaha team about Cooper Webb, and I said, were there any big changes? Has anything specific gone on during the couple of weeks off? And they just said he's just managed to get some good laps in, some good riding time. So I think coming into the season, it was just riding time, putting laps in on the new 450 that he really needed.
Yeah, they said the same thing in Supercross. He's had some good races and some bad, but every time I ask if they made bike changes between that, they usually say no. They didn't change the bike that much. And he'll have some company. He's got to try to track down Bogle, because Jason Anderson is coming as well. There's Anderson. He's made the move on Bogle.
Tickle.
Yeah,
and Tickle's there as well. So starting to bunch up here late in the race.
And we now know what happened to Anderson. Remember, he was in 4th earlier and then went back to 9th. But it has been a tough moto on him in spots. Let's check it out.
Look at the top left of your screen. Get a little cross rider through there. Hits the ground pretty hard into that bank. I think the bike took majority of it. Luckily, it didn't get too bent up.
You see, there's Bogle, Webb, Craig got by. Craig is now pulled into the pits in this moto. But Anderson is still on the charge. He's trying to track down Webb. He's got Brock Tickle with him. Cole Seeley, Dean Wilson, Weston Pike. Round out your top 10. By the way, Pike's teammate Justin Barsha out, crashed in practice today and hit his head, so he'll have to take some more evaluation this week, so he's not racing this afternoon. Boy, this track is tough in these valleys, charging up and downhill. Webb takes a look over. He knows Anderson's there now. Anderson's going to try to run the outside.
Anderson also someone not afraid to use all the track and use a lot of body English. He'll hang off the back, hang off the side. But his, for having sort of an aggressive type riding style, he does very well at these kind of tracks, and I think it's because he makes it work because he works his body with the motorcycle and does a lot of manualing and wheelies and that kind of stuff, which helps you on a rough track.
And these two teammates on Team USA at the Motocross of Nations last year, but now they are not teammates. They are rivals on the track. Webb and Anderson going to battle for top 5. If you're Anderson, you need every point you can get. He is absolutely in this championship chase as well. And they've got Bogle right in front of them. A good battle shaping up in the latter stages. Moto won a high point. We're back charting the progress of Eli Tomac down on the first lap and doing a great job trying to salvage points here. On the Monster Kawasaki, he has climbed from 40th to 12th, but about 10 seconds was the gap that he'd have to make up to the 11th place rider, Freddie Noren. He made up a little bit of ground, but not a lot. Still about 8 seconds last time around. So Tomac is going to have to, the clock's not on his side. He's going to have to hope perhaps for a mistake from Noren. 2 minutes left. You're looking at 2, maybe 3 laps to go in this moto. So not much time for Tomac to make up 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's quite a chunk. We've seen him in the past make that up on some guys in a lap, but not quite looking like he's got that all outright speed today. And I think that maybe the right-hand side might be a little bit bent.
And a couple more shakeups here as we're following this whole thing. It's still Baggett, Grant, Ferris, Grant 1, 2, 3, but Tickle, I believe, has climbed up to 4th, making the pass on both Webb and Anderson, who I believe had a crash. And we'll try to get you the replay here of this. So I was mentioning that every point counts for Anderson and is in the hunt. This doesn't help.
Yeah, watch Bogle looks over, he goes for that line, and Anderson comes in. Oh, they make contact, they end up both going down. But now watch this, watch Bogle, not very happy.
Oh, wow. That was leg swag of a different kind.
Yeah, exactly.
From Bogle. Whoa, okay. Well, Anderson, you live by the sword and die by the sword. He's one of the most aggressive riders out there, and sometimes it works for you and there it worked against.
See Baggett just greasing that triple now, landing smooth, and he's just been lapping faster than everyone every single lap. But I must say, the last lap around, besides Baggett, the last couple laps around, Brock Tickle has been the fastest guy on track. He is motoring at the end of this second moto.
Yeah, I don't know if
first moto.
Grant has time to catch, or if he has time to catch Grant, who's in 3rd. But he is going about 3 seconds faster than Grant is. So Tickle, yep, only rider on the track besides Baggett, who's in that 2-minute range right now. Everyone else, 202,
whoa,
203.
Baggett just did that.
Another one.
Oh, remember I said earlier we went around the outside and there's like a bit of a kick. I don't think anyone even thought it was doable. He's jumping it. I mean, these guys, if they don't go figure out these 2 jumps that he's doing, no one's going to have a shot in the second moto.
No, that's a lot of time right there. Baggett's gap 17 seconds over Ferris, who is 6 seconds clear of Josh Grant.
In Europe in 2010, they were running it.
And very impressive what he has done, not only for himself, but the first ever wins for his team, which started as a privateer outfit and has worked its way all the way up to the top level. Baggett got to talk about that earlier.
I never thought I'd see it.
To be able to bring, Butler Brothers, which is now Forrest is the main one behind it. He's been doing it a long time, from when him and his brothers raced to building their own race team, and then when they stopped racing, having other riders ride for them for years. And they weren't able to bring a win to the table or even a podium, and I was able to bring a podium to them in Supercross, and now outdoors, second round we brought them a podium, and immediately the next weekend we backed it up with a win. So to be able to bring that to them, I don't understand how long it took them to do it, as far as I wasn't there the whole time, but I know that the few years that I've been going at it, it felt like it took me forever to, finally get one, and that's only 3 years in. So for them to go, I can just imagine how bittersweet it is to finally get it. But at the same time, they've worked so hard to get it, and now that we've all got it and the team and myself have accomplished it, I think we're all just as anxious and just as ready to go race again to back it up and try to do it again.
Well, guess what, everybody? That's exactly what they're doing.
Hey, watch this. Watch this.
Oh, he's going way outside to get this? What? That is not even that doesn't look like a takeoff.
It looks sketchy to me.
Yes.
He basically is seat bouncing a little rutted But got to give it to the guy for his creativity.
Yes.
I mean, he's doing stuff on the track that other riders can do, but no one's really thought about it or adjusted with the track. It was probably too muddy earlier, and everyone's sort of, excuse the pun, but stuck in that rut of, I'll just go double single, I'll just drop off this hill. He's going, hey, wait a minute, I think he can do this now, and this is doable, and the track's dried out. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Oh, quite a performance from Baggett. And by the way, yes, don't adjust your set. That was a red set of number plates that he went by. Your points leader, Marvin Musquin, struggling today. We believe might have an injury. He is 16th place right now.
And a lap down.
Yeah, and a lap down. But at least for Marvin, that's going to be 5 championship points if he can hang in there and finish 16th, which is better than none. So it's still worth the effort to come out here and try it. But everything rolling in Blake Baggett's direction again so far today here at High Point. And how fun is it to watch this guy figure out these different combinations, different lines?
And he proves that.
Yeah, a brutal track, that's not easy, man.
Yeah, he's making the most of this track. He's making it look not as rough as it is. Plus, he stays out of the really deep, you know, the deepest ruts around the track. He'll try and avoid them. Let's see if he triples this on the last lap. Yeah, easy.
Wow.
He's just having fun. This is fun for him.
Yeah, just completely dissecting it in a different way and just trying things. Look at this, all the way over the big quad on that side. Well, it certainly was no fluke. It was not a one-race wonder performance for Blake Baggett in Colorado, doing everything and perhaps even more that he did at that race today, and throwing it sideways, looking for places to celebrate. Confidence, it's one of those intangible things that you're not supposed to be able to see. But I think it's pretty obvious right here. He's probably bummed he couldn't get this jump because of the lap rider, but you can practically see the confidence falling off of him right now. He's got it all the way around this track. This would have been the finish line in the old days, but he's got a few more turns to go. But Blake Baggett on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC WPS Fly Racing KTM. It's early, but this is quite scary for everyone else to see him put on this type of performance in back-to-back races.
And it looks like he can go faster if he needs to.
Yeah, absolutely. Big gap over everyone else. 2 Moto wins in a row. Blake Baggett takes the first Moto at High Point.
Here at High Point, and let's not forget Dean Wilson in second place.
Welcome back to High Point, and now Blake Baggett, 2 Moto wins in a row. You're rolling off confidence, but there were parts of the track that no one else was doing. What was pushing you to do that mid-moto?
Just feeling comfortable. So got comfortable in Lakewood, got to give it up to the whole Rocky Mountain ATV, MC, KTM, WPS, Fly, Scott Goggles, Alpine boots, just everybody that's behind me, my wife, my mom, my dad, trainer, Michael Byrne, Jared that's behind the scenes doing the training, and we're ready. So we're hired to come here and race motorcycles and win, and that's the job we're going to try to complete every time.
Congratulations, well done, Blake Baggett.
And a lot of intrigue in the results here. An unpredictable 450 championship continues, at least in the early season. Baggett takes the win. Dean Ferris finishing up second in his first ever Pro Motocross race outdoors in the U.S. Josh Grant third. Eli Tomac, by the way, ended up 12th. Let's go back to Georgia.
Dean Ferris, third in qualifying, and it seemed like you were coming out here with something to focus on. Did you achieve it in this first moto?
Yeah, I didn't actually know where I was going to be at. I just knew I had to get a good start and dealt with the heat, you know, and I did. Got a good start, past Josh and a few other guys, and really happy with it. I just want to thank my mechanics, Brad and Aiden, for coming over, CDR Yamaha, Rock River Yamaha for putting me up this weekend, and all my family back home.
I'll let you get ready for Moto 2. Well done, Dean, the other side of me. Josh Grant, wow, there was some serious battling between you, Dean, Blake Baggett out there, but you pulled it together. The heat is incredible. Is it a lot different to the previous races we've had?
Yeah, man, it's really crazy right now. We knew that a start was going to be really important for this race, so was able to get a whole shot, and yeah, I feel good, man. It's been a long time since I've been out in High Point and rode this well, and you know, like I said, my little man's at home with a broken leg, so it's tough, but I love him and hope you're doing good, Wyatt.
Well, good job, Josh, and all our love goes to Wyatt at home.
All right, so good job, Papa, getting up on the podium. And we'll have more racing later today. NBC, first race of the season on the big network. That'll be our second 450 class moto live today at 3:30. There is a 30-minute break between the first and second motos today, which we do not normally have, so 3:30. And then the 250s will wrap up today on NBCSN at 4:30. We've got their first moto, though, coming up after this. Back at the Red Bull High Point National, 250 riders beginning to load into the starting gate and get ready for their first moto. We finished the first 450 moto of the day. Let's show you how it turned out with our Lucas Oil race recap. An unpredictable season continued to throw curveballs we didn't expect, like Eli Tomac going down while running second on the first lap. And it was a very difficult spot to get back on the bike, so by the time he did get going, he was in last place. That left his teammate Josh Grant battling for the lead with who is the 1-1-1. It's Dean Ferris, the points leader in the Australian National Motocross Championship. A guest this weekend takes the lead. Baggett would get around Grant and then go after Ferris for the #1 spot. And suddenly, Blake Baggett, who up until a week ago had never won a moto in this, him winning is like restoring order in this championship. How odd is that? And just to add to the oddities, Eli Tomac and Marvin Musquin end up battling for 16th place in this moto. Musquin struggling mightily. We heard he's injured. Tomac with the early crash. Blake Baggett keeps on rolling.
Very impressive.
Yep. So trending in the right direction is Baggett. Here are your results. Also trending late in that one was Brock Tickle, who I think was, what, 7th or 8th?
Yeah.
Ends up getting through the rest of those riders to 4th. Anderson salvages a 5th after a pair of crashes. Seeley rounds out the top 10. We'll be right back.